Hello, and welcome to Way of the Holy Family. Thank you for joining us as we walk in perpetual hope, drawing ever closer to Jesus through life's struggles and triumphs, filled by the Eucharist and strengthened by community. Way of the Holy Family is here to bring light, encouragement, and a bit of childish fun for all families seeking holiness. Hello, everyone. The joy and peace of obedience. Ooh, what a topic. What a word. How do you feel when you hear the word obedience? Uncomfortable? Rebellious? Do you grit your teeth a little bit? I certainly do. This is a topic I did not expect to cover, but I'm excited to move forward, so here we go. Looked into the Bible, and I came across a verse, Isaiah 1:19. And this is what it says on obedience. If you are willing and obey, you shall eat the good things of the land. Again, Isaiah 1:19. That sounds kind of nice, cozy, maybe a little reassuring. But as I said, whenever I hear the word obedience, it makes me grit my teeth going, oh, I just don't want to follow through with that. And what is the catch? This is the topic for the next few episodes. It's a very big topic, and there's no way we could cover it all or express what it entails in its entirety, but I would like to touch on the spirit of obedience and the fruits of it. And we're just going to start with that still, small voice, or those little promptings, hearing God. You might go, excuse me, I don't hear God. He doesn't talk to me. Well, what about those little promptings? I assure you, you do hear them. Here's some examples, such as, I should do this. I better go take care of that. I need to go check on the kids. Or how about this one? I really shouldn't do this. We've all heard that one. And it's consistent year by year, season to season, as we all live out our lives. And it's kind of funny how I'm going to start this theme with a little honest story. This podcast was scripted hours before its posting. That's right. I worked on it on Monday for Tuesday morning. I'm not ahead in any way. This is real-time updates, and I certainly do not feel professional doing this. I like working ahead, but putting my feelings aside, I think this little story from my weekend illustrates what the Lord wanted for the week. So, again, I have my goals and my desires. I want to work ahead. Last Wednesday, I had concluded the week's work and thought, yay, now it's time to work on next week's episodes, with a responsible pace, getting things done, out of the way. You never know what might come during the weekend, especially when you have a full family. And I sat at my desk, and I bowed my head, and I tried to type. But nothing came. And I go, okay, God, is there anything you want me to type up or write? I heard a little, nope. So I pressed further. But I want to get ahead before the weekend. I know, I heard in a small voice, but that's not how I work. Oh, well, that's true. And then I felt the word rest. Rest. Okay. God does not want me to be working on this right now. So I closed my laptop and let it go. From past experience, I have overbooked myself, pushed my children off to the side, compromised valuable work, etc. But this time I really wanted to listen to any promptings that I felt came my way. And that evening, Oliver told me to go to sleep early. During the season, I am obviously very, very, very sleep deprived. And the only thing that got me to bed promptly was that still tiny little voice, rest. And thank goodness I did. It turns out a few hours into the night, my daughter needed me. And I was awake for the next 5 nights. There were emotional needs coming my way I had no idea I needed to be present for. And then my family came down being sick. So throughout the end of the week, the weekend for these next 5 days, I tended to things in the moment, and I literally did not take any time on the podcast. I did check in though once in a while. It's good to check in. It's like a child checking in to say, "Hey, mom and dad, I'm going to so and so's house," or "Hey, mom and dad, has the status changed on whatever it is to do the next thing?" It's respect, it's obedience, and it's just making sure in that moment I'm doing the right thing. And every time I checked in, I felt like the Lord's answer was still, nope, or not quite yet. And guess what? Amongst all the sickness and the exhaustion my husband and I were experiencing, there was incredible peace throughout my soul. I took care of my sick family, and they were my primary focus this weekend, way more than usual. If I had not been obedient and hung on to the things I thought were important, I would have been strong arming the process. Have you ever had a child who wouldn't follow the simplest directions? Every instruction has to be repeated 2 or 3 times. And even further, sometimes you fall back on progress because steps were not followed. And let's not forget all the emotions that come into the ugly mix. But the past 5 days were not like that. As difficult as it was, sick kids and no sleep, it was absolutely peaceful. I walked in stride with the Lord moment by moment, and I just took care of things with no conflict in my mind. This is the benefit of obedience. I had to lay down what I thought was priority or things that I wanted to do. There were other commitments, in fact, we had to let go of to take care of our family. When I checked in, though, I'm sad to say, I still sounded a bit whiny and a bit insecure in myself in what I was going to do, because I was entering in a few days outside of my normal routine, and I wanted to honor the commitments that I had, because when I honor those commitments, I do honor my God. So in checking in, again, I was a little whiny, and I'm like, "Lord, hey, I have work to do. What am I going to write about?" And there was that general feeling throughout the weekend of, you'll figure it out. And I'm sure you want to know when the prompting and theme finally came for this podcast. Honestly, it was when I laid down for a much needed nap. I had a quiet window around me away from the chaos, and the word obedience ribboned through my brain, and a bunch of little themes and points came across my mind. But did I sit up and start writing those down? No. I still napped, and I still waited for the time until he wanted me to write it down. So, moral of this episode is that I was willing to follow, first and foremost, what the Lord wanted me to do and not what I wanted to do. And to obey that, to listen to his promptings and to follow through with them. Check in frequently, obviously, to make sure I was still grounded well amongst all the change and the chaos. But I got to eat the good things of the land. I got to carry peace with me. I was able to sow into my children in the way that they needed their mama present. Peace, friends. Thank you for joining us today. Check back every Tuesday through Thursday as we drop new episodes and news. Feel free to follow, or if you would like to know more information about Way of the Holy Family, please click the link below to our website, wayoftheholyfamily.com.